Wow. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Take a look at this beauty. The flavor, the juiciness, the perfect. It's Monday, we don't open until Wednesday evening, but the pizza week starts right now, and if I don't do this the right way today, this morning, Wednesday evening, it's already compromised. Let me explain. See this? This is the sourdough starter. The only problem with this is that it's too small, and there is a very good reason for it. And basically it's because everything is planned and everything goes to the routine. The thing is, right now in the winter, we are closed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We open Wednesday evening, first opening day of the week. That actually means our last service day is Saturday evening. And that means the last time we made dough was Friday morning. That also means the last time we refreshed the sourdough was Friday. Now, in order to prevent waste, our last sourdough feeding on Friday, we are doing a very small sourdough. And that means that when we put the right amount of sourdough into our dough, everything that is left is gonna use to make a very, very small sourdough. Not bad though, huh? Which is exactly the amount of sourdough we need today to make a whole batch of dough ready for tomorrow. Hopefully it makes sense. This process is incredible, simple. It really only takes like 5 minutes, but it's so important. Grab the tray, tear, flour, some cold water. Scale off, we don't need it anymore. We're gonna do a very quick mix. The only goal is to hydrate the flour and mix every single grams of flour with every single gram of water. And if you're asking about the water, because it took me 3 tries to put the water, it's just because right now this is the perfect place to record because of the light and the area around me. So imagine in the summer we are doing 6 times this amount every single day. We're definitely not using that small jug of water. Cover. Let it rest 7 to 9 hours here at room temperature. Tomorrow we're gonna do the next part. Not so many things to do today. We have a wine presentation, maybe a bit of tasting in a bit. It's January now. Everything plans in January. I haven't even thought about this, but this is actually a nice way to start vlogging because it's January, and hopefully, you know, if I can stick to the routine and life doesn't come in the way, I can document pretty much the build-up up to the summer. Some of the important stuff, some of the worst parts also, because there's a lot of those as well. It's part of the journey. Until the wine presentation, I need to get my 10-20 minutes of practice. Really beautiful. I just love the snow. Makes everything so much nicer, so much beautiful. Yet another snowy night. Look at this, how much it snowed over the night. Here we are again. Sourdough is ready. Let's get downstairs and start the production. So what I'm doing right now is quick weighting the sourdough. So I have 500, 5081. That's because the plastic is 1050. Then I have 4500 mass of sourdough. Now, the way my sourdough is calculated is I know if I need 4000 grams of bulk sourdough on a full dough. And then I'm gonna left with 500 grams, which I'm gonna refresh it again for tomorrow's dough until we get to Friday to make the last dough of the week. Then we are going to keep it low until the refresh on Monday. So I already have the water in. I'm just gonna go in with the sourdough. How do you know the sourdough is good and active? Well, if it floats. So as you can see, as it pours down, we can clearly see that it floats on top of the water. This is always a good sign. Now I put this on the side for a moment. So while this spins, I want to let it go for like 3 to 5 minutes or until the sourdough melts. This is a perfect opportunity to scale the flour. I'm gonna need the whole bag of this, which is 12.5 kilos, and another 8,500 grams. in here. 8,500. So what I'm doing right now, we are going ahead with autolyze. Technically speaking, this is not an autolyze, this is a fermentolyze. Autolyze, you just mix flour and water. In this case, we also have the sourdough. While this mix, another incredible opportunity to refresh the starter. Same routine as yesterday, see you in a bit. This is done, this is done. This has to stay for, again, 7 to 9 hours, room temperature. This needs to stay like 1 hour at room temperature and then we're gonna finish. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean a bit around here and move on. 20 minutes past 9. Gotta go grab my wife, she has a dentist appointment. Gonna go there, come back, grab another coffee, moving on with the dough. Alba. Alrighty, remove the foil, the salt, water in all at once for this type of dough. Start the timer, 6 minutes on first speed, 4 minutes on high speed. And by the way, quick advice for who wants to take it. If you are trying to do dough for a business, try to keep it simple. First important rule is try to make the dough that you love and you like. I've been working with Biga, Polish, direct dough, bulk fermentation, with yeast, no yeast. I had like a span of 2 to 4 years where I tried every single one. And when I mean that I work with Biga and Polish, I mean that I work with Biga, all type of hydration, all types of Biga and all types of dough hydration. I made Biga itself with all types of hydration, and then I made dough made with Biga with all types of dough hydration, from 60 with 85% hydration pizza dough. And I got stuck to this sourdough, this type of sourdough with a bit of whole grain to build different flavors, but not because somebody told me to. When I started experimenting with this, I was trying things out. I thought, oh, I have to make this dough because this pizza guy makes this dough, this famous pizzaiolo from Naples. They say with experience come wisdom, or I don't know, but it's the most important to test, try, taste, taste, taste again, test, try, taste. The 3 T's. Test, try, taste. Wow, this is a good one. Test, try, taste. The one that you love. When you're making something personal from here and you make something that you really like, that's the product you have to go with, not because somebody else makes something. Hope it makes sense. I don't know. That's what I do. Anyway, next step, cover into the fridge room until tomorrow morning. After a nice quick coffee break with some nice sweets to start the, the day right, and about an hour and a half of planning, now I'm heading for a quick 1 hour training game with my brother. Man, I'm telling you, I shouldn't have played 3.5 hours paddle tennis yesterday. My whole body just hurts. My legs, I could barely wake up out of bed. Back at it again, which will basically be the last part of my dough making process. Basically, second to last. Yeah, just gonna boil this dough up. That's about it with the dough. I just let it at room temperature. Gotta take care of the stuff that we received, put it in, and then I will have to go out of town for about 3 hours. So, funny fact about the oven, when we are closed like this, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, half of the day, the oven temperature, it goes down so low. If we are working every day, so tomorrow morning is still gonna be around 220, 250 degrees. That means that when we want to get ready for service, it's gonna take us 30, max 40 minutes for the oven to be at 450, 500 degrees Celsius, ready for service. Now it's gonna take at least 1.5 to 2 hours. Another fun fact about this, it uses the same amount of gas or wood, no matter if we make 20, 25, 30 pizzas or 700. Now imagine how cheap it is for us to run this pizza oven in the middle of the summer. Last summer we had one day with 780 pizzas, versus in the winter where like the lowest day maybe we made 30 pizzas. Here we are finally ready to bake some pizza with this dough. Come a bit closer here to you. Usually we stretch the pizzas down there, but I want to be closer to you, so let me just walk you through it. Show you a standard stretching technique. First step is to push the air out into the cornicione. And here we can use different techniques. We can either use the DJ, or depending on the dough, I use multiple techniques depending on how much air is in the dough or how strong is the dough. So I'm just gonna make one of my favorite with San Marzano tomato sauce, a little bit of spicy salami. We are using Ventricina. It's my all-time favorite spicy salami. Buffalo mozzarella, just break it down, and andouille. I love andouille with everything. To top it off and help the cooking process, a little bit of olive oil. And that's about it before it goes in the oven. Let's put it on the pill, make it a bit bigger. In it goes. Ooh, right. Wow. Take a look at this beauty. Okay, let's see a bit of crust sound. So very nice caramelized. This is definitely my favorite everyday pizza. I just think that when the tomato sauce is mixing with the fat from the spicy salami and the andouille and combines with the juiciness and the flavor of the buffalo mozzarella, it's absolutely the best thing you can have in that first bite of pizza. Let's see a little bit about the crust. Now, this is definitely not a contemporary style pizza, Neapolitan style pizza. This is my pizza, but still, you know, depending on how air is, how well in the fermentation process is, but a lot of air in the crust is not a goal for me. This is how the slice is. It's just fantastic. This first bite never gets old. The flavor, the juiciness, the perfect baking underneath. Now I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this pizza till the end. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.